Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something that's been all over the news lately, something that's really sparking some debate. AI and creativity.
It seems like every day there's a new story about AI writing a hit song or painting a masterpiece or even coming up with movie ideas.
It's kind of wild, right?
Yeah, it really makes you wonder, is there anything AI can't do?
Well, that's what we're here to explore. Is AI really capable of true creativity?
Or is it just mimicking what it's learned from us humans?
And what does this all mean for the future of art, music, and even the whole concept of human creativity?
Big questions indeed. And we're going to dive into all of them right here, right now.
Exactly. So buckle up because this is going to be a fascinating ride.
One of the most mind-blowing things about this whole AI and creativity thing is that it's not just about efficiency anymore.
Right. Like we used to think of AI as like a tool to automate boring tasks. Right.
Right, like crunching numbers or sorting data.
Sure. But now it's stepping into the realm of art and creativity, and that's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah. We're seeing algorithms create works that are genuinely stunning, thought-provoking, even moving. Like, remember that time an AI-generated painting sold at Christie's?
Oh yeah, for like almost $500,000.
It was a portrait, kind of blurry and abstract, but it captured people's imaginations.
And their wallets, apparently.
Mm.
It really makes you wonder, can an algorithm truly be creative?
Right.
Or is it just a sophisticated mimic?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, we've always thought of creativity as this uniquely human trait.
It's something that sets us apart from, machines.
Right. But AI is challenging that notion. It's not just mimicking human styles, it's generating novel ideas, coming up with stuff that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, like the music composed by, AI-powered bands.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you heard of Amanda and the AI?
Oh, yeah, they're getting a lot of attention.
Their music is completely AI generated.
I know, it's amazing.
And it's kitschy. It's not just like a random jumble of notes either. It's like actually good music.
Yeah, it's really pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. And it raises all sorts of questions about authorship and ownership.
For sure. Like if an AI creates a song or a painting or even like writes a poem, who owns the copyright?
Right. Is it the programmer who wrote the code? The user who provided the input? Could the AI itself be considered the author?
Whoa, that's a mind bender. It's definitely a legal gray area right now. I mean, our current intellectual property laws, they were designed for a world where humans were the only creators.
Exactly. And they're struggling to keep up with these advancements in AI. Like, remember the case involving the Dabius AI system?
Oh yeah, the one that designed inventions.
Exactly. Patent offices around the world are trying to figure out, can an AI be legally recognized as an inventor? I mean, it's a fascinating case.
It's clear that AI is forcing us to rethink the whole system around creativity. It's
Yeah.
not just the art itself, it's the whole legal and ethical framework.
It really is.
But hey, it's not all doom and gloom, right? There's also this incredible potential for AI to be a tool for artists, to help them push their own creative boundaries even further.
Absolutely. I think of AI as like a creative partner, a collaborator that can help artists explore new ideas, experiment with new techniques, and just, push the boundaries of what's possible.
I read this really interesting article about this visual artist, Anna Ridler, who uses AI to create these almost surreal images of tulips. She trains an algorithm on thousands of pictures of tulips.
And then the AI creates these like unique variations.
I know, it's amazing. And there are so many other examples of artists using AI in really cool ways. Musicians using AI to compose melodies, architects using it to design buildings, even writers using it to overcome writer's block.
It's incredible. And it makes you think, what are the possibilities here?
It feels like AI is giving everyone access to like a supercharged creative toolbox. Imagine a world where anyone, regardless of their skill level, could use AI to express themselves artistically.
I love that. It really has the potential to democratize creativity, give a voice to people who might not have had access to traditional art forms.
Totally. But like any powerful tool, there are also potential downsides, right?
Yeah.
We have to talk about the elephant in the room, bias.
Yeah, that's a crucial point. AI is only as good as the data it's trained on. And if that data reflects our human biases, then the AI will too.
So we have to be really careful about that.
Hmm.
We need to ensure that the AI we're using is trained on diverse data sets and is developed with ethical considerations in mind. Otherwise, it could just end up perpetuating existing inequalities.
You're absolutely right. We can't just blindly embrace this technology. We need to be critical, we need to ask questions, and we need to be mindful of the potential consequences. It's not just the creative output itself that raises these ethical questions, it's the whole
Oh,
process.
yeah, for sure.
Like, how do we ensure that AI is being used ethically in the creation of art and music?
Right, right. It's a whole new world, and we're kind of making the rules up as we go along.
We are. And one of the biggest challenges is figuring out, like, who's responsible for making sure AI is used ethically in this whole creative process?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Is it the developers who create the algorithms? Or is it the artists who are actually using the tools?
Or maybe even the platforms that are hosting the content. Like, where does the responsibility lie?
It's kind of a shared responsibility, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But it's definitely uncharted territory.
Definitely. And it's not just about copyright either. We also have to think about the potential for AI to be used for creating deepfakes.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Fake news, all sorts of harmful content that can be easily spread and amplified using these technologies.
Right. It's like, with great power comes great responsibility, and AI is giving us a lot of power.
It really is. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations now before AI becomes even more powerful and even more integrated into our lives. We need to be thinking about how to use it responsibly and ethically.
So how do we do that? Like, what are some concrete steps we can take to ensure that AI is used for good in the creative world?
Well, for starters, I think transparency is key.
Transparency, yeah.
We need to be clear about how AI is being used in the creative process. Like, if a song is partially composed by an AI, that should be disclosed.
Right.
If an artwork is generated by an algorithm, that should be made transparent to the viewer.
Yeah, it's about giving people the information they need to make informed decisions about the art they're consuming.
Exactly. And it's also about protecting the rights of human artists.
Oh, for sure.
Making sure they're fairly compensated for their work, even if AI is involved in the process.
Yeah, it's not just about ethics. It's about fairness and equity as well.
Absolutely. And we also need to think about the potential impact of AI on the art market as a whole.
Right.
Like, if AI can generate art that's pretty much indistinguishable from human-created art, what does that mean for the value of human creativity?
Whoa, that's a big one.
Will artists be able to compete in a market that's suddenly flooded with AI-generated content?
These are tough questions.
They are, and there are no easy answers. But the important thing is that we're having these conversations, that we're engaging with these complexities and working together to find solutions that benefit both artists and society as a whole.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot. We've talked about the potential of AI to enhance creativity. We've talked about the ethical challenges. We've even touched on the legal complexities and the potential impact on the art market. It's a lot to process.
It is, but it's also incredibly exciting. We are living through a time of unprecedented technological advancement,
Well,
and AI is at the forefront of that revolution.
so where do we go from here? Like, what does the future hold for AI and creativity?
Well, I think it's safe to say that AI is going to play an increasingly important role in the creative process.
It seems like it's inevitable at this point.
Yeah, the tools are becoming more powerful, more accessible, and more sophisticated all the time.
But the question is, how are we going to use these tools?
Yeah.
As a society, will we use them to create a more inclusive and equitable world of art and expression? Or will we let them exacerbate existing inequalities and undermine the value of human creativity?
It's a choice that we have to make collectively. And it's a choice that will have profound implications for the future of art, culture, and society.
It's a big responsibility.
It is.
So to our listeners out there, we leave you with this thought. The future of AI and creativity is not predetermined. It's a future that we are all creating together through the choices that we make, the conversations we have, and the actions that we take.
So stay curious, stay engaged, and let's build a future where AI empowers creativity, fosters connection, and truly enriches our lives.
So we've talked about like all these different aspects of AI and creativity, right?
Yeah.
But the big question is, what does it actually mean for the future of like art itself?
Yeah, are we going to walk into a gallery and see nothing but AI-generated pieces?
Right. Are human artists going to become like obsolete?
I get asked that question a lot, and honestly, it's hard to predict the future with absolute certainty. But I don't think we need to start panicking just yet.
Okay, good. Because I was getting a little worried there for a second.
I think what we're seeing is more like an evolution of art. Like, the definition of artist itself is kind of expanding to include both human and artificial creators.
So it's not necessarily one replacing the other, but more like a collaboration.
Exactly. And I think that opens up some really exciting possibilities. Imagine AI and human artists working together, bouncing ideas off each other, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And maybe even lead to entirely new art forms that we can't even imagine yet.
Right. Think about like immersive installations or interactive art experiences powered by AI. The possibilities are endless.
Okay, that does sound pretty cool. But will people actually, like, buy it?
Uh-uh.
Will audiences accept AI-generated art as, real art?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, the value of art is determined by, the market, by what people are willing to pay for.
Sure.
And we've already seen some AI-generated pieces being sold at auction for, like, pretty significant
Yeah,
amounts.
like hundreds of thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah, so there's definitely a market for it. But I don't think AI art will completely replace human-created art, at least not anytime soon.
So there's still hope for us human artists.
Absolutely, because even with all the advancements in AI, there's still this like uniquely human element to art that I don't think can be replicated by a machine.
You're talking about like the emotional aspect, the intention behind the work.
Exactly, that human touch, that expression of our lived experiences, our emotions, our perspectives, that's something that's really hard to program into an algorithm.
Yeah, you're right. So it seems like the future of art might be a blend of like human and AI collaboration, kind of like a partnership where each brings their own strengths to the table.
I think so. AI can help us explore new creative avenues, push boundaries, maybe even overcome some of our limitations. But it's ultimately up to us humans to guide it, to infuse it with meaning, and to ensure that it's used for good.
That's a great point. So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI and creativity, I think the big takeaway is that the future is what we make it.
It is.
It's about being informed, engaging in these conversations, and being mindful of both the potential benefits and the risks of this powerful technology.
And most importantly, remembering that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for, not so good. It's up to us to decide which path we want to take.
Well said. So to our listeners out there, thank you for joining us on this wild ride. We hope you found it as thought-provoking as we did. And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this exciting new world of AI and creativity.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to create the next AI-powered masterpiece.
That's all the time we have for today. Until next time, stay curious.